Welcome back to Playing with the Gratitude Journal. I'm putting together more and more spreads and just kind of figuring out how I want to lay them out. Some of the pages, obviously, I have gratitude already written on them. Some of them, as I lay out the spread, I realize what it is I'm grateful for. You might recognize this particular page that I'm using here from the back of another spread that I laid out. It was not the entire picture, but it definitely is enough to where you can see there's like some nature things going on and whatnot. I just love these old pages from books. The pictures, should I say. The pictures from old books. It evokes a lot of memories, of course. I guess that's why I do it. I'm not sure. I also like the saying on this one about kindness. I think that is super true about kindness in general. I like these borders. These are pieces of borders, actually. I used bigger pieces somewhere else. And this, I was not sure what to do with it. I just knew that I liked it. And another tiger sticker or a piece, whatever. Lots of different little just pieces of things that were left over from other places where I used them. But I think I'm going to be able to make these into some nice spreads. Nice piece of green textured paper. We got a picture of Elvis, some more paper, some tickets. Some tickets that say, this is love. So, all kinds of fun things to work with, and now to figure out where to place them and glue them. using a little bit stronger glue for this heart border because it's actually made of fabric. So obviously a glue stick is not going to do the trick here. And considering a couple of other things that might go, but deciding to kind of leave it as is and just let it dry for now. This little holographic pocket used to be a bag that some sort of craft or jewelry supply came in, and now it's going to turn into a pocket. The problem with Aleene's tacky glue is the longer you have the bottle, the thicker it gets. And eventually you have to kind of resort to squeezing this thick stuff out and then spreading it around with a spatula. And I had squeezed out way too much, but that's okay because the extra glue can get used for gluing down something else. And I thought about doing it on that page and said, no, let's put it over here. Now to use that extra glue both on the other page and on the spatula. This pocket is pretty much perfect to put these tickets into, as well as this Matchbox cover from a trip to Laughlin that my friends and I went on, and we stayed at the Abbey. So this, of course, reminds me of my friends that I went with, and just, my gratitude for all of my friendships. I have some friendships that have lasted since elementary school. That is crazy, right? Grateful for friendship. Always. Alright, so I'm going to let this dry for a while, and I come back to it to find this fool messing with it. I really want to put a picture in this green spot, but I don't really have like printed pictures, especially recent ones. So I actually was going to put maybe a generic picture or maybe a picture from the AIDS walk, where I do know I had a lot of friends in there, just not specific, or even a couple of giraffes, maybe to symbolize friendship. I just don't really have a lot of pictures of friends, but I do have this picture of a couple of our old friends and then Keith and I. And this is an old picture, but it still represents friendship. And then as I look at it, I also see their little daughter, who I am still friends with and who now has children of her own in the picture. So I decided, yeah, I think this is gonna work, and I'm gonna cut it down to a more manageable size so it'll kind of fit in that green. And Moon Pie was just really determined to bother me throughout this process. Hey, do me a favor and like and subscribe and leave me a comment about what you're grateful for. Thanks, bye.